Buyers are waking up, stock is thinning out, and the race to buy before Christmas has begun. And this next month will define who wins and who waits. G'day folks, it is Matt Hayson here looking at everything impacting Sydney's property market this week. Well, it is decision time for buyers and many have been leaping in as new listings start to dry up before the Christmas wind down. We've seen really strong sales over the past week as realisation sets in that if you do want to secure a home before Christmas, what's on the market right now is probably the best you'll see until late January, maybe even into February. Now, many buyers, they have loan approvals that do expire, and with no rate cuts in sight, they don't want to risk tightening in their borrowing capacity. After the latest inflation spike, CBA has declared that the rate cutting cycle is over, and that's already flowing into lending, with some banks nudging their products higher. So we expect a short flurry of activity as buyers scramble to identify the right home, the right value, and the right fit before the doors close for the year. And the good news is supply is huge right now. Last week we saw the second biggest auction weekend for the year, 1,667 homes scheduled, beaten only by the pre-Easter weekend. Yet the SQM Research final clearance rate just came in at 49.1%. So what's going on? This is a market that rewards realism. Buyers, they have options. If a price guide is too high, they move on, and they move on fast. Sellers who listen to feedback, align early, and demonstrate tangible value are getting strong results. Everyone else is in a bit of an arm wrestle, usually one or two solid buyers per home, but not a crowd. Now, let's zoom out because investors, they've surged back into the market. They might not be chasing Sydney's blue chip postcodes. Yields are still really thin and entry costs are high, but the money is moving. In September, investor borrowing jumped 17.6%, the biggest quarterly lift since mid-2021. Investor loan commitments now sit at a record $39.8 billion, prompting APRA, the regulator, to warn that tighter lending restrictions may be coming. Meanwhile, the great Aussie housing machine just set a new record. That's right, $12 trillion in total value, according to Cotality. That figure has more than doubled in a decade, with South Australia, Western Australia, and Queensland taking a bigger slice, while Victoria's share has shrunk and New South Wales eased slightly. The total value is calculated across 11.4 million dwellings, and the average national value now sits at $1,050,000 per home. So here we are in a fascinating late year finish. Roughly 30 days left for buyers to close a deal before Christmas. Half the auction market is struggling to find a buyer. Investors, well, they're re-entering, and the national property wealth just hit a new record high. And consumer confidence just flipped positive, up 12.8% for November to 103.8 on the Westpac Melbourne Institute Index. That means there are now more optimists than pessimists, and if you take out the COVID chaos period, it's the strongest reading in 7 years. So our take on all of this, well, work with seasoned professionals who know the terrain, because this is a data-heavy environment and smart guidance is absolutely crucial. On the CH Market Mood Meter this week, I'm calling it a 6.5 out of 10 market. It's driven by some increased buyer urgency because of the compressed decision-making time leading into Christmas, and new listings, the tap will be turned off this week. But sellers, you need to remain realistic. Price alignment isn't just good strategy right now, it is the path to a successful sale. So that's a wrap for this week, folks. That's what's going down in and around the market, and I look forward to catching you all next week.